We are excited to kick off our interviews today. We bring in the head coach at Colorado State, Niko Medved. Coach, appreciate you coming on. How's it going?
BJ, great.
Oh, you're good. Yeah, sorry.
Great way to kick off Mountain West Media Day right here with Bronco News Nation.
I said Bronco Nation News. Come on, at least get the name right here. I know. I heard you requested to be first, so you could get it over with.
I did. Or you requested me first to get it over with.
No, I saw the No, I'm excited. I appreciate it. We always enjoy catching up with you. I got my Lindy's magazine here, which I usually am cheating off somebody else's work, but those are essentially my notes since I did the Lindy's magazine this year for the Mountain West. And we saw the preseason poll come out. I mean, this is kind of the unofficial kickoff. I know you guys had a little meeting here, whatever, but I mean, do you like coming down here and just kind of getting this unofficial start to the season here?
Well, you always know you get to this time of the year, it's go time, so I think this just kind of is another step in that. You see everybody again, they're going hard at it they've been going at it this summer in the preseason, and tip off is just a few weeks away, and it's great to get everybody talking about college hoops.
Your team, I know you're super excited about your team. I know I'm going to be the first. I'm glad I'm first, so I can be the first to ask you a question you haven't heard all day about replacing Isaiah Stevens. Obviously that's a big storyline around your team, and how's that going? How do you feel like you're going to try to make up his production?
Isaiah didn't bring much to the table on most days, so I think we'll be okay without him. It was fun actually. Him and David Roddy played against each other in the preseason last night, which was really cool. But, listen, it was a blessing to have him here for 5 years. He's obviously an incredible player. I said the same thing. I saw Tyson here down there, and I said, God, didn't you? Wow, how long have you been here? Isaiah and Tyson, are kind of that same guy. And, yeah, it's going to be a challenge, but I think we've got guys who are ready to step up and do that. And hopefully, when you have a great player like that, there's a legacy that they leave that helps kind of transform your program and the culture around it and what you want to do moving forward. And so you don't replace a guy like that, BJ. You just don't. He's a transformational guy, but I'm excited. I'm excited for this group here and some young guys in particular. I think that can step up.
Obviously getting Nique back obviously is a huge deal for you guys. How has he just been, and how important is he going to be? Obviously a preseason all Mountain West player here, and deservedly so.
He's been terrific. It's been, last year he really kind of broke onto the scene, and he had a great year for us. I think his experience going to the combine and going through the draft process was great for him. His mentality has been terrific. His consistency has been terrific. And I think he's going to have a great year for us. So hopefully he can even expand, his game on both ends of the floor. And the difference for him, BJ, will be last year, he was a guy that people didn't know a lot about that kind of burst onto the scene and became a main guy in the scouting report. Now he'll go to being the main guy in the scouting report. That's going to be a challenge for him, but I think it's one he's mentally ready to handle.
What do you make about this league? And I guess one more on your team first. You get that win over Virginia. I mean, a lot of people thought you shouldn't have had to go to the first four to begin with, but to get that win at least, and I know it's not a lot of returning players, but the ones that are back, just to at least get that NCAA tournament win and kind of that feeling and know what it's like. And I'm sure that is motivating them in this group, moving forward here.
I hope so. I think like you try to build a program again. I think you talked about Isaiah and those guys, but kind of a standard that's been set about how you play, what winning looks like, understanding the challenges of our league and to play at the highest level. And I think those guys have learned that, and they're going to bring that. And I think we've added some guys too that have played at a really good level and played for terrific coaches that I think bring that to our program as well. But it was great to been to the tournament, and the next time around we got to win. And how do we get to the next level?
What do you make of this league? Obviously, 6 teams last year. I know it's going to be hard to replicate, but a lot of good coaches and a lot of good players back again.
Listen, you look all around the country, there's change everywhere. I think the one thing that's unique about our league is sometimes people focus on, there's guys that have left the league. There's some great players that either graduated or maybe moved on to another school. But BJ, I think there's a lot of good players who stayed in the league. Yeah. I think there's a lot of good players who stayed. You just mentioned it. You've got terrific coaches. You've got a lot of programs who really care about basketball and have great environments and understand winning. The league's going to be really good this year. It's going to be really, really good. And, do you replicate 6 teams. I don't know. That's hard to do that. But this is going to be a multiple bid league this year. I have no doubt.
Yeah, I mean, there's 10 players. You guys went from 5 to 10, which I think was smart on the preseason All Mountain West team. And there's of the 10 players, there's 7 different teams with one of the top 10 players in the league.
Absolutely. And, the one thing, this, I mean, no matter what the preseason polls say or the expectations set, that's harder than ever to do in today's day and age, to try to predict who's going to be good or not. I almost guarantee you the postseason standings and polls will not look the same today. And they're always like that. And to be honest, maybe more than ever.
Obviously, throwing in a Boise State question here, since we covered Boise State, but what they got, 3 of the 10 on here, and they got Cardenas obviously coming over from San Jose. What's your take on the group Leon Rice has here this year? I was surprised to see the first time that since he's been here, they've been predicted to finish first. Yeah,
I mean, he obviously they've got it all this year. When you look at it, they're incredibly well coached. Leon, his staff, they know what winning looks like. They return guys who've won at a high level. Obviously, Tyson and Omar kind of set that standard. When you have guys like that returning, makes a huge difference. And then I agree. I think a kid like Alvaro is going to add a lot of leadership and stability, at that point guard position. And they're going to be a handful. I mean, and they always are. But I can see why they were picked to win the league.
I mean, doing this research for Lindy's, there's 4 or 5 players in this league that are on their second Mountain West team, and at least one, and Xavier Ducell on his third. I mean, it's just the way it is now, I guess, in college basketball with the transfer portal and everything, where these coaches within the league see these guys and they know each other. And you think we're going to keep seeing more and more of that, or?
Oh, that won't surprise me at all. I think, if there's a player that's available in the portal and looking for another play. I mean, you've probably watched more film or understand more about that player, maybe than anyone if they've been in your league. And honestly, probably that player too has a pretty good feel. They've played at your place before. They've played against you. They have a pretty good, understanding of your style of play and if that fits for them. So I think you'll continue to see that.
I was a big advocate for going to the 20-game league schedule. Were you in favor of that, or?
100%. And listen, there's no perfect. I mean, could there be a year where it would have been better to play 18, so on and so forth? But I think it's better. Like in our particular case, this will be the first year. I mean, we're not going to play a non-Division I. This year we're going to play an exhibition game. The last few years, every year, you've got 2 extra games to schedule. We're going down to the wire, just trying to find a quality game. And like last year, several of the teams ended up scheduling another non-Division I just because they couldn't find another game. To me, that makes no sense. We should be playing another conference game. I think that's good for everybody. Now if we continue to do what we're doing in the non-conference and teams still commit to scheduling the way they need to schedule, I think it makes sense to play each other.
Some of the the detractors of San Diego, the states of the world, would say, "Oh, you're going to lose the big 2 of the big marquee non-conference games." It's like, no, you can cipher off the bottom, right?
That's exactly right, and I get it. Everybody's got a different opinion, but you're exactly right. I think the key with that is it's very hard in the preseason for us in the non-conference when you have Christmas break and all these other things to find dates sometimes to play. So it's really critical that we've got to be able to make sure we have some sort of flexibility there in December to be able to play the games we need to play to be successful, whether it's MTEs, home and homes, one-off neutrals, all those things. And so, but I think we're going to 20 this year, and I've looked at the other league schedules. I don't think it's going to hurt our non-conference strength of schedule, in my opinion.
What do you think of your schedule overall, your non-con?
I think it's good. I think we've got a lot of challenging games. We're going to play Ole Miss in a semi-neutral game down in Memphis. We've got the MTE with Washington, TCU, and Santa Clara. I'm not looking forward to playing Great Ossaber again. I thought we were done with him. We've got VCU out here in Vegas, who I think will be preseason picked to win the A10. I haven't seen the standings, but they'll be right there. I think they're going to be terrific. And we have our series with Colorado, so we've got to go back to Boulder this year, which is going to be a great test. And we've got a lot of other really good games too. So I feel good about our schedule. I think we've got a real chance to challenge ourselves and some opportunities for some quality wins.
What do you make of the Pac-12 and that whole deal that came about, and obviously 2 more years in this league, and then making the move, and what that means for Colorado State?
Man, I think it's I think it's something that I'm excited that we're doing. I think that, we felt like we had to make a move. It's kind of the nature of college athletics. There's still a lot to be decided. Hopefully I get to still see you now, right? Like,
should, yeah,
can't get rid of each other.
You were, that was the one thing, I thought the fans in Logan thought they might get rid of me for a little while and then got added back in.
I think, when it initially happened, I look at it through my own lens of basketball. We've got such a phenomenal basketball product here. But I think when you look at it now, I think we're going to find a way to continue to have a great basketball product. Obviously, adding Gonzaga is a game changer, and we'll see kind of how we're able to finish out the rest of this league. But I'm excited about it. There is a little bit of bittersweet of not being in the league with some of these great places from our sport that we've been able to play in. But it's the nature of college athletics, and I'm glad we have a vision of looking forward here.
You think it's going to be weird? I know there's 2 years, but is it going to be weird at all in some of these just games, road venues, whatever, with the opposing fans like in New Mexico or somewhere that's not making the move? Or
yeah, I'm sure I don't know if it'll be awkward. It might be some bittersweet or whatever. And listen, it's kind of funny as a coach going to the pit to play, for example. It's not very enjoyable sometimes, but it is enjoyable in the sense of the atmosphere is great, and so, but you know what, listen, I think people understand and coaches understand these decisions are made at a different place than us. We're all have a ton of respect for each other and in some cases, really good friends. And so, listen, at the end of the day, we've got 2 more years in this great league. So the only thing you're focused on now and all of us coaches is trying to get your team ready to play and try to compete in this great league.
How do you feel overall about just the state of college basketball right now and where things are at and the direction it's going? It's
really chaotic. We'll see what happens here with this House settlement moving forward. I mean, we really need stability. We really need transparency. So everybody kind of has a clear understanding of what the rules are, what we're going to do moving forward. Hopefully we're moving in that direction. I still think we're a few years out from really getting clarity, because even when the House settlement happens, there's going to be a lot still lawsuits, people trying to figure out what that means for them. But you know what? I look at it, and I could be wrong on this. I don't mean the numbers in front of me. People are watching college sports. They're watching college football. They're watching college basketball. Weren't the ratings for the NCAA tournament as high as ever last year? So if that's the case, you can't tell me that it's hurting. You know what I mean? That people are following it. There's an interest level that way. I look at our particular case. I mean, we're selling out games. There's fan interest at our place. There's fan interest all around the league. So I think that means that it's healthy. We've just got to figure out, like you said, some transparency of what we're all doing moving forward.
And I guess final thing, you guys probably shouldn't have had to go to Dayton. Boise State shouldn't have had to go to Dayton. You mentioned the game and all this stuff, the meetings. I mean, did you guys? I mentioned something about the KenPom numbers the other day, and some Boise State said, "Fan, well, talk to me in March. I'm not worried about that anymore because it obviously didn't matter when it came to the tournament." Like, did you guys get any kind of clarity on what matters, what should matter, and what fans, media should be, coaches should be focused on this year?
No, and I mean, listen. At the end of the day, we could talk about this forever, but there's a human side to this, and clearly the 12 people in the room saw it differently than the other 180 people who supposedly have access to the same information. And when you ask individual people, they all have different things that they deem are the most important. And so all we can do is go play the games, follow the rules and the parameters that they put in front of us, and then we get to the tournament, we got to have success, and that's what we need to do. And so I think we started to do that last year, but just got to keep our head down. But no, I have not gotten real clarity yet as to why that happened.
Well, Coach, appreciate your time as always. Best of luck, and we'll see you at least twice this year at some point.
See you soon. Thanks, BJ.
Thanks, appreciate it. Niko Medved, head coach at Colorado State. We're going to bring in a couple of his players here momentarily and chat with them for a couple of minutes. Again, Colorado State went 25-11 last year. They were 10-8 in the Mountain West, finished tied for 7th. And again, obviously replacing Isaiah Stevens, but got some guys back, and I know they're excited about this one, and we're excited to talk Colorado State basketball here for a few minutes on Bronco Nation News. You guys can put the headsets on right there. Appreciate you. Colin, we got to switch back the camera here when you get a second so we can get the group on We got, again, Colorado State went 25-11, 10-8 last year, and the preseason poll came out. We got Colorado State. I'm sure these guys are going to have something to say about that. Pick 7th in the preseason poll. Nique, Clifford, Jalen, Lake, nice enough to join us for a couple minutes. Guys, thanks for coming on. How you doing? I had your mic muted over there. Sorry, Jalen. How you guys doing?
No, it's all good. I'm doing well. Doing well. Excited to be here.
I'm sure you guys, I'm doing great. I'm sure you guys kind of look at that, and I don't know if it's motivation, disrespect, whatever. It's a good league, I know, but to see the number 7 in the preseason from the media and stuff, what did you guys think of that?
Yeah, I think it's just motivation for us. I think none of it really matters at the end of the day. Preseason is what they see you as before the season. They don't know the guys that we got behind our team and the work that we've been putting in. So I don't think we pay it much mind. Just use it as fuel for the season.
Yeah, like he said, I mean, we just try to use it as motivation. We just try to take it day by day, try to take a game, each game, one at a time. So, that's what we try to do.
How you feel about your team this year, Jalen?
I'm excited for it. We got a lot of new guys, a lot of new transfers, got some young guys, but, I'm just trying to step up as in a leadership role and help guys out and try to be in the right spots and try to lead his team as much as possible.
I know getting this guy back was a big deal for you guys. I'm sure this will be the first or second of 20 times you talk about it today, but your decision to come back and how does it feel to be back and just your thoughts on being here for another year?
Man, I'm super blessed to be back around a good group of guys, great coaching staff, and just really excited about this year. I think we got a good group that I think we can make some noise this year, and just excited to do that. And I think just continue to build my resume as well, helping myself out, coming back to help my stock as well for next year. So a lot of great things. I'm definitely excited about this year, though.
What are those kind of things you want to improve on and what you heard in the feedback and things?
Yeah, I think big thing for me was just getting bigger and stronger, and I think I was able to do that this offseason, and then just continuing to grow as a player, seeing the game from a different perspective, and being an older guy, being in that leadership role similar to Lake. We have to lead our team, so I'm excited about that, and it's helping me grow as a player. So looking forward to this season.
What do you guys make of the league this year? And obviously we cover Boise State, so I don't know if you got a thought on Tyson Degenhardt or Boise State, but obviously 6 teams in the tournament last year. I mean, that's going to be tough to replicate, but what do you guys make of the league?
Oh, yeah. No, the league's gotten better. I've been here since a freshman and played with Tyson Degenhardt. We're both the same class, and he's been a great player in this league throughout this whole Mountain West, and the league's gotten better each year. So I'm super excited. It's going to be a gauntlet. We can't take a night off at all. Just the league is that good. So
what's your thought on Tyson Degenhardt?
Man, he's a hooper. He's a good player, man. So it's going to be fun to compete against high-level guys like him. And I think that just makes our league that much better, having great players. I'm excited for that game.
You guys have had, it goes back before you guys got here, but Boise State, Colorado State have had some great battles back in the day over the years. I mean, I'm sure you could probably say that against every team you play in this league, but I mean, do you always know it's going to be a battle when you guys play Boise State?
Oh yeah, most definitely. They stormed the court on us last year, so that one hurt us a little bit, but.
You guys did it to them the year before, though, or 2 years ago.
I wasn't here for that, so I can't speak on that.
The year they won the league, Colorado State beat them twice, and stormed the court on them.
Yeah, I can't speak on that one, but it's always a battle going against them. Great program. Leon Rice is a great coach, so definitely always fun to play against them.
Well, we appreciate you guys coming on. I know you got a lot of interviews to get to. Don't want to keep any longer, but stay healthy. Best of luck this year, and we'll see you when you guys match up with Boise State.
Yes, sir.
Thanks so much.
Thanks again. Nique, Clifford, Jalen, Lake, nice enough to join us here on Bronco Nation News, talking Colorado State Rams basketball.